Okay, so for grieving videos, I don't think people really care if you look pretty, if you don't. And the objective of this channel is to be as authentic as I possibly can. So here it goes. I did the welcome video, and then I said, God, now what? Now what do I do? The welcome video is done. People already know I want to talk about grief. People already know I'm going to start this journey of mediumship. And now what do I do? Now what do I talk about? And God told me, you're going to talk about me. You're going to start this journey talking about me. And you're going to tell people how you met me. And I just want to start off by saying that growing up, my childhood was really rough. My childhood was a beat. However, because it was such a beat, I didn't believe in God. I didn't care about God. I was just like, whatever. And then when I was 18, I got my first car and I parked it. I went to watch one of my brother's soccer games back home, and I parked my car, and then when I came from the soccer game, I noticed that on the floor by the driver's side, there was one of those little paper images of Saint Teresa. And it was a childhood photo of her. And you guys are going to really think this is stupid, but I was like, oh my God, she looks very similar to me when I was a child. So I'm like, I'll look her up after. But that just stayed in my head, like drilling in my head. Like, wow, she looks really, really similar to me, specifically as a child. And then I Googled her and I started studying her, and I started just researching really, and I got really deep into her history. And then I found out that our stories were very different, of course, but very similar as well. So Saint Teresa left. She wanted to join a group of nuns. She wanted to join a convent, but she was too young. So her dad just told her to keep on waiting until she was old enough, and she said, no, my life belongs to God, I want to go. So then she decides to convince her dad to go to Rome and visit the Pope, and convince the Pope that she deserved to join that convent. And after much struggle and a lot of convincing, she convinced the Pope that she, even though she wasn't old enough, she was mature enough to join. But then when she joined, she couldn't connect to her siblings or to her dad, and her father ended up passing, and she didn't see her dad. So in my story, my godfather passed away. It was my dad's brother, and like when I was growing up, my mom's house was like on like here, and then his house was like here. Like they were attached. It was two sisters that married two brothers, and they lived attached to each other. So we were very, very, very close. And when my godfather passed, my dad flipped. My dad lost himself. My dad lived for many years just trying to fill the shoes of my godfather. He would play with my cousins, but he wouldn't play with us. He would check in with my cousins. He wouldn't check in with us. He was absent. He was mad at God. He was mad at the universe. All that he cared about was filling the shoes of his brother, which was amazing that he did that. But it kind of left us out on the banks. And I didn't see my dad either. My dad was not there. My dad lived for his brother's family, which is my family, and oh my God, I love him so much. But the truth is that his 3 children were left behind, in a sense that he lived with us, but he didn't. And then he worked a lot, and then he drank a lot, and then he became very violent. And that wasn't for all his life, but it was for many years. So finding that image of Saint Teresa led me eventually to God, because I thought, okay, if Saint Teresa lost her dad because of Jesus, in a sense that she couldn't see her dad, she couldn't have access to her dad. Hello, how are you? Her dad was there, but he wasn't, and mine was there, but he wasn't. And I thought that I had so much to learn from her, but then she had a lot to learn from God, and then I wanted to learn from God. And then as time passed, that gave me a lot of peace. But that is the story of how I met God.